one conditional statement is left, that is the switch statements. So switch case is basically a replacement for if-else statements. Multiple if-else statements can be replaced by a switch and case statements. The syntax is very simple. Syntax started with a reservoir switch. Inside bracket, we have an expression which must return an integer value. Therefore, it is written as integer expressions. It is an expression returning an integer value. And based upon the returning value, we have number of cases. Based upon the return value integer expression, there are number of cases. It will switch over to a particular case. It will switch over to a particular case. And whichever case it switches over, the execution will continue from there. Execution will continue from there. When I write case constant one, this constant, on context. Then a constant one, constant one can have any integer constant 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20 like this. So depending upon the outcome of this integer expression, the switch will go to a case whose constant value is matching with this integer expression output. If the integer expression output is 20, whichever case will have a constant value 20, control will switch over to that and execution will continue from there. Let me show one example. Integer expression, you all know, it could have a value 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at this. We started with a switch. Inside bracket, I wrote an integer expression I. Then we have number of cases. Case 1 integer constant 1, case integer constant 2, case integer constant 3, then with column. And finally, we'll have a default case. In default case, we need not write down case default, we'll only write down default. If this integer expression doesn't match with any one of the constant, it will go to the default. If the value of I doesn't match with any of the constant written against a case, control will switch over to the default. So if I write down switch I, case 1, suppose right now I is assigned to 2. If I is assigned to 2, Devjit Goswami, is it audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. Then what value this I will return? This expression will return a value 2. If returns 2, so which case it will switch over? To which case it will switch over? Case 1 or case 2?
Case 2.
Case 2.
And it will start executing from case 2. So it will print on the screen. I mean, here execution will continue. Because the case value is 2, execution will continue from case 2. I am in case 2, then it will print I am in case 3, I am in default. Suppose this I is initialized to 3, then this would have been 3. Then execution would have started from the same statement or from case 3. Very good. If you have understood this, let me show the output is like this. Look at this. It will display on the screen I am in case 2, I am in case 3, I am in default. Next example, look at this. I change this expression I to I plus 1. If I write down I plus 1, immediately this expression will return a value 2 or 3. If it returns 3, now control will switch over to which case?
Case 3.
And execution will continue from here. Here I am in case 3, I am in default. Understood it? Some more example. Look at this. I wrote I minus 1. If I write down I minus 1, value of I was 2, minus 1 will give a value 1. So the control will switch over to the case. And now it will go on displaying on the screen very nice. So I am in case 1, I am in case 2, I am in case 3, and I am in default. Now, we'll make use of the break statement here. Normally, in case of switch, we use break statements. Break statement can also be used inside a loop, but very often we'll find break statement is used inside case switch. We all know wherever a break statement is there, control will break from that loop or not, will come out over here. Look at this. Same switch I have written, but what I did in every case at the end, I put a break statement. So what would the value of the switch? 2. So where from control will start its execution, case number?
Case 2.
And from here, yes, from here after displaying I am in case 2, will it continue to execute case 3 or it will break out from that?
It will break out.
So how many statement it will print? Only
One.
very good. Is it understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
If I write down I plus 1, what it would have displayed?
I'm in case 3.
Very good. If I would have written I plus 10, what it would have displayed?
I'm in default.
I am in default. I am in default. If it doesn't match with any one of the constant in the case, it will immediately go to the default. And because the default we write at the end, need not to write a break statement. Automatically it's broken will come out of this. Understood it or not? One more example.
Yes.
Suppose I write like this. I didn't put a break statements over here. Switch I. Where it will go? Very good. In
Yes.
case 2, it will display I am in case 2. Will it break or it will go to case 3? It will go
It will
to
go
case
to
3.
case
Case 3.
Very good, Manish. In case 3, it will display I am in case 3 and then will break from the case 3. Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. If you look at the output will be I am in case 2, I am in case 3. Understood it? Very
Yes,
nice.
sir.
So with this, we finish this. There are some program, home assignment. I'll be telling you to do it later on. But let's move to a new topic, functions. Write down. Write down functions. Let me tell. Online student, is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Is the screen scrolling? Yes. Yes. Let me discuss what is exactly a function, what is the necessity of a function. Sometimes in a program, we would like to execute few statements or some statements repeatedly. For example, I have 3 statements. Let me write down. We have 3 statements. Statement, let me say S1, S2, and S3. These 3 statements I would like to execute in my program at different places. Let me say the places are here. These are some statements. I'm putting a star mark here. Again, I have few more statements. I'm putting another star mark here. Few more statements. And I'm putting a star mark here. In all, wherever I have put a star mark, this statement S1, S2, S3 needs to be executed. What I could have done when I write my program, after this 4 statement, I would have written these 3 statements S1, S2, S3. Then after these 4 statements or 5, I would have written same 3 statements. If those 3 statements are to be executed in 100 places, I'm only showing how many places here? 3. Could have also been 100 places because of some necessity. Then I would have written these 3 statements in 100 places. Understood or not? Instead of 3 statements, it could have been 300 statements. How many statements are there? 300, and those 300 number of statements are required to be executed here, 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 in 100 places. In how many places? 100 places. Are writing 300 number of statement in 100 different places and same statement. The irony here is that the same set of statements in 100 places is a difficult task. Copy paste, had it not been there, it would have been a tough task. Yes or no? Because of copy paste, would have been possible to some extent, sir, copy it and paste it. Yes or no? But I do not want you will copy and paste it. What we will do, we will define a function which will have a name. We'll define a function which will have a name comprising of those 300 number of statements. Understood or not? We will define a function, and function consists of a group of statements. We'll define a function, and the name of the function, let me say ABC. Let me say the name of the function is ABC. And wherever those set of statements or group of statements are required to be executed, I will not write it. I will only replace what I told here by calling the function ABC with a call statement. Let me say call ABC. I will not write down those 300 statements every places. I will call the function by its name. Understood or not? Here also I'll write down call ABC. Here also I'll write down call ABC. Look at this. If it has to be executed in 100 places, how many call statement I'll write down? 100. 100. Understood or not? Nirmalya, Sanindya?
Yes, sir.
I'll write how many call statement?
100.
100. Then how many times I'll write function? Once. I'll define the function once, and I will be giving a name to a function. With this, let's proceed. So in my program, I will have a function having 300 statements with a name, and wherever I need to execute those statements in my program, I will simply call it by its name. Up to this is understood or not? If I do this, whenever the function gets called, whenever it is called, immediately control gets transferred to the function. All statement of the function gets executed, and we ought to write a return statement at the end of the functions. We must write an additional statement, return statement at the end of the functions. That's the syntax of defining a function. And after execution, when it comes across return, control will return back to the next statement where from the function is called. Again, if I call the function from here, control gets transferred to the function. Execution will continue for all statement of the function, and when we come across return, control will return back where to return, where from it was called, or anywhere in the program. Where from it was called or anywhere.
Where it was
Where from it
called.
was being called, control return like this. If it could be done, then our purpose is solved, but we did not write those 300 statement in 100 number of places or not.
Yes.
Understood? So function consists of a group of statements, which are a function consists or comprises of a group of statements which are required to be executed, at different places of the program Okay, so function is nothing but a group of statements which are required to be executed at different places in a program. Full stop. We define a function by its name. We define a function by its name, followed by group of statements, and ended with a return statement. So function is defined with a name followed by a group of statements and ended with a return statement. Okay. Function definition starts with a name followed by group of statements ended with return. Understood or not? Normally we define the function before main. Normally. However, function can also be defined after main. But to start with, my advice will be to define the function before main or after main. Before main.
Before.
Okay, before main.
Before.
That's once we define a function, not need not right. Once we define a function, wherever those group of statements are required, we will call the function by its name. We'll call the function by its name. With this understanding, let's proceed. Okay. These are the different. Look at this. Look at this. I have redefined a function main till now, which we consider as a program, which has statement x1, x2. Then I have three statements s1, s2, s3. Then I have one more statement x3. Then I have statement s1, s2, s3. Do you find a group of statements are required to be executed repeatedly in the program? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Are you finding it or not? Can you name those group of statements? S1
S2,
and
S3.
S2? Then? Very good. Can I do this like this way? Or I should define a function for this. If I want to define a function for this, I will define a function with a name. The name I have given as ABC with a bracket. Many things will be coming. And the contents of the function must be those group of statements. In addition to that, we have to write a return statement at the end of the function to indicate the function ends here, you have to return back. Understood? Or yes or no? The function should have a name followed by body, and at the end of the body, we'll write down a return statement. Look at the main. We wrote x1, x2. Wherever it is required, we'll call it by its name, ABC bracket. Again, we need it after x3. We wrote ABC bracket. Then x4, x5. Then we wrote ABC brackets. Understood up to this? Yes or no? Okay. Let's go for an example. Look at this. So execution will always start from main. Main. Do remember this. The program execution will always start from main. Do remember, compilation start from hash include, but execution starts from main. So when we started executing main, x1, x2 got executed first. When it came across ABC, control got transferred to S1, executed S1, S2, S3. When it came to return, control returned back to the statement X3. Understood it? Yes or no? Okay. Then let me tell about the prototypes, or I can say function definition. The function definition starts with a return data type. Sometimes a function return a value, sometimes a function doesn't return a value. If a function return a value, the return data type of the value must be mentioned. Suppose I will ask you to find out area of a circle. Area of a circle happens to be an integer value or floating point value?
Floating point.
There are two options available with me. One option, find out it and tell me the value. Second option, find out and write it in your copy, I will see. Do you understand this or not? One is, I will ask you find out area of a circle whose radius is 5.0 and tell me the value. There you will throw me the value or not? You will throw me a floating point value. I should keep a box which can hold a floating point value or not? Understood? But I may also ask, do not tell me the value. Solve it on your copy and write the result on your copy. I'll move around and see. Understood it or not? In that case, will you return the value to me? So in that case, the return type will be void. In that time, the return type will be void. But if it returns a value, whichever data value it returns, that data type must be mentioned. So what we should write first at the beginning of the function definition? The data type to be returned. If it doesn't return, what should I write?
Void main.
Very good,
Void,
void.
void.
Not void main, only void, Ankita.
Only
Not void
void,
main,
sir.
only void. Understood or not? Very good. Then name of the function. Function name is nothing but an identifier. Name of the function can be Ankita, can be Argya, can be some Senapati, like this. Name of the function, as you like. It can simply be an identifier. Then inside bracket we pass some formal parameter. I'll discuss sometime later. Some parameters we pass, but without passing parameter, I can also write a function. So then we'll write a brackets. Inside that formal parameter, we may pass, we may not. Then we write down the body of the function. Body of the function will be embedded inside curly braces, and the last statement of the function ought to be a return statement. Okay. And with this understanding, let's come to the first function. Look at this. I want to display an equal symbol on the screen. Understood what I want to do? I want to display a equal symbol on the screen. I could have written a printf statement. I want to write a function. Copy me, likho. Function to display equal symbol on the screen. Equal symbol on the screen. What is the purpose of the function? To display equal symbol on the screen. Will it return a value or display something on the screen?
Display.
Display. Doesn't return a value. So what should be the return type in this case? Void.
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 Very good, very good. I have given the name of the function as display one. I have given. You can have your own name. I have given display one. Inside that I put a brackets. No semicolon is required in function definitions. I have curly braces. Printf equal. Then I wrote printf backslash n. Can you tell if I run these two statements, what will happen? Equal will be displayed on the screen. Cursor will remain the same line or come back to the next line.
Next slide.
Is it understood,
line.
everyone?
Yes.
Is it understood, everyone?
Yes.
Then I wrote return. So how many statements will be executed inside the body of the function? Altogether three. Other than return, two printf. Very simple I have written. I am not focusing on any mathematical logic right now. I am focusing on how to write a function. My thrust is how to write a function, not to define a mathematical function. This is my function. Have you understood how to write a function? Function starts with return type, name of the function, parameter initially blank, curly braces starts to write down my block, the statement which I want to execute, I'll write sequentially. At the end, I'll write return, curly braces ends. Have you remembered this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Very good. Then I'll write int main. My main function will start. Main is also a function. I call display one. Then I execute two statements x1, x2. I don't write what is x1, x2. X1 is one type of statement, x2 is another type of statement. Then I call display one, then I call display one, and finally I have returned 0.
Function call.
Yes, function call. Very good. This function definition in the left hand side, but don't write in the screen left, right. You will write from top to bottom. Jaga nahi tha bolte, that's why I wrote in the left hand side. Many will start searching this arrow, sir, left, right, kaise likhenge? No, it's not like this. You will write has include then top to bottom. Very nice. Execution will start from display, will start from main. Very nice. Look at the execution. Function definition is understood. Everyone tell me yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Function call is, look at this. Display one starts, control gets transferred to the function. Understood this? Execution continues. What it will display on the screen? Equal. Will the cursor remain in the same line?
No.
Cursor will come down to the.
Next line.
Then when we return, I'll return to the statement x1. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Sir.
All have understood this? Very
Yes.
nice. Then x1 will be executed. Then x2 will be executed. After execution of x1 and x2, Again, I called the display one. Again, I called display one. Again, control got transferred. Execution continues. Then again, I'll display a double equal, sorry, single equal. Again, I'll return back to X3. Understood up to this or not? Can you say after execution of my program, how many equal symbol will be displayed on the screen?
3.
3. Very good. All on the same line or in
No.
different line?
No,
Different line.
different line.
Very good. Very good. Had this printed not been written, answer to my question. Had this printed not been written, all these equal symbol would have displayed on the same line or
Same
not?
line. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it understood, everyone?
Yes.
Very nice. With this understanding, does it look nice to always display a single equal on the screen? No, we don't like it. So let us display 10 number of equal. Let me write another function display 2. Display 1 is finished. I'm defining another function display 2. Can you go through display 2 and tell what it will do? Anyone?
Sir, 10 equal in one
But
line,
10
then
equals.
It
next
will
line.
display 10 equal in one
In
line.
one
Very
line.
nice.
In
Who
one
told
line.
it? Sanjana, क्या
Sir.
नाम है?
Sir, Sanidhya Mohan.
Sanidhya, very good. Sanidhya told. 10 equal will be displayed on the screen. Sanidhya, one more question to you.
Yes,
The
sir.
the cursor will remain the same line when we return back, or it will come down to the next line?
Sir, after printing 10 equal, it will change the line.
Yes. Why it will come to the next line?
Sir,
Anindya?
printf backslash
Because
n.
Printf
printf
slash n.
slash. Very good, Slash. Yes. Yes. Ananya, good. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So now my main, when it gets executed, it will display 3 number of equal or 30 number of equal.
30 equal in 3
30.
lines.
30
30.
equal in 3 rows.
three
lines.
3 rows.
Yes, sir.
Each row will have 10 equals. Is it understood? Everyone, tell me yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no.
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood this? Very
Yes,
nice.
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Very
Yes, sir.
nice.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell something here. Suppose I would have written in place of this 10 as n. I would have written this as n. I would have declared a variable n. Okay. And then there is a statement like scanf,
So any number which we enter, that many.
percentage d. I have not completed writing. Let me say n like this. Look at this. Look at this. I would have declared a new variable n inside the function. Then I would have written a scanf percentage d ampersand n, and then for loop I varies from 0, I less than n. Will it display 10 number of equal or n number of equal?
N number of equals.
Sir,
N
every
number
time
of
we have to
equals.
enter n
Whatever-
and then it will
N
display.
number
Whatever you
equal.
enter, that many.
Yes,
Whatever
yes.
we enter.
Manish, let me tell n. If n is 5, it will display 5 number of equal in a
Yes, sir.
single line. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, yes, sir, agree.
Very good. Agreed. Every local variables can become a formal parameters. Every local variable can become a formal. I'll come to this formal. So do you like this? Every time we are printing 10 number of equal, does it look nice? Sometimes I may want 20 number of equal on the screen. Sometimes I want 30 number of equal in the screen. Suppose I want to write a function to display 10 number of equal, sometimes 20 number of equal, sometimes 30 number of equal. Now the question remains, do I need to write 3 different functions where each function, one function will display 10, another 20, another 30?
No, sir.
सर
No,
3
sir.
तो हो जाएगा, 3 तो हो जाएगा, अगर 40 हुआ तो 40 हुआ तो फिर चौथा फंक्शन लिखेंगे, अगर 50 हुआ तो सर इट्स अनएंडिंग प्रोसेस. So let's think a mechanism by which the same function, if required, will display 10, if required will display 20, if required will display 30 like this. And that necessitates the passing of parameters. When I call, I will instruct how many equal needs to be displayed. When I call, I will instruct. And that necessitated the passing of parameter to a function. So if you look at this, मैं दिखा रहा हूं स्क्रीन में, समझ में आ रहा है ये रोहित, मनीष, क्या क्या नाम
Yes, sir.
ऑनलाइन
Yes,
ये तो ऑफलाइन वाले बहुत साइलेंट है, ऑनलाइन वेरी अटेंटिव. गुड, Sanindya, good.
Thank
You
you.
all are very attentive. Now display will display this. When I come to display 2, it will display another 10 number of equal. Okay, then another. Understood it or not? Sequence
Yes,
of
sir.
execution understood. Sanindya, Manish, Rohit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Sundar. Now,
Yes, sir.
so now many students are suggesting, sir, ये 10 इक्वल अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, कभी कभी 20, कभी कभी 30 ऐसे डिस्प्ले करना चाहता है, and that necessitated. So write down parameter passing. In C, parameter passing can be of 2 types. नहीं लिखे से भी चला गया, यहाँ है call by value and call by reference. 2 types of parameter passings are there: call by value and call by reference. Call by value and call by reference. Then coming back to this, the parameter which are written during definition of the function. When I define the function, the parameter which are written are formal parameters. Understood? At the time of calling the function, the parameters are called the actual parameters. So when we define a function, the parameters which we define are formal parameters. When the function is called, we pass the actual parameters. Sometimes we call formal arguments and actual arguments. So formals are at the time of defining a function, actuals are at the time of calling. Now listen carefully what I am saying. Formal parameters are nothing but a declaration statement. Formal parameters are nothing but a declaration statement. Can you tell errors are nothing but a declaration statements. Actual parameter can be a constant, comma, variable, comma, expression. Actual parameter can be a constant, comma, variable, comma, expression, etc. The relation between a formal and actual parameter is nothing but an assignment statement. The relation between formal and actual parameter is nothing but a assignment operators, I can say. Understood? The relation is a assignment. In this assignment relation, who will appear in the left hand side? Formal. Who will appear in the right hand side? Actuals. Understood or not? Any assignment statement I write down, online students, in the left hand side, do you write a constant or always a variable? Left hand side, tell me. Variable. Can never be a constant. In the right hand side, can it be a constant? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Can it be a
Yes,
variable?
sir.
Yes or no?
Yes,
Can it
Yes.
be an expression? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because
sir.
it appears, because the actual parameter appears, which side of the assignment operators? Right hand side. Because of this, actual parameter can be a constant, can be a variable, can also be an expression, complex expression, can also be a function call, Relation समझ में आया? Now, formal parameter I told, actual parameter I told. At the time of calling a function, at the time of invoking or calling a function, actual parameter gets evaluated. Suppose I have written a statement like this: A assigns to B plus 5 into C. And let me say value of B is 2, value of C is 3. At the time of invoking or calling a function, the actual parameter gets evaluated. Actual parameter gets, and the value assigns to the which parameter? Understood it or not? At the time of invoking or calling a function, the actual parameter gets evaluated and assigns or initialized to the formal parameters. Is it understood? Tell me yes or no. With this understanding, many things you can understand. This is what call by value, call by reference. I'll discuss later on. Next point. The data type of formal and actual parameter must match with each other. If the formal parameter is an integer variable, the actual parameter must be supplying an integer value. If the formal parameter is asking for a floating point variable, the actual parameter must be supplying a floating point value. The data type must match with each other. And the parameters are positional parameters. First actual parameter will go to first formal parameter. Second actual parameter will go to left to right. Understood it? Very good. If you have understood this, let's come to this. Now I declare. Look at this. See my definition. I define a function. Whatever I told about a formal parameter, are you getting the same thing or not? Formal parameter is nothing but a declaration statement. Declaration statement. Are you finding my formal parameter is a declaration statement? Yes or no? Int n. But formal parameter, I cannot declare int I, j, k, like this. For individual variable, I have to give a individual declarations. Yes or no? If I have 5 formal parameter, all are integer, I cannot declare int a, b, c. I have declared int a, int b like this. Very nice. I have a local variable I. Every formal parameter will have a memory locations. I am writing this. Now again, I use. If this program gets executed, how many equal will be displayed? N. If value of n is 20, if value of n is 5,
20.
अच्छा ठीक है, let हो रहा है, ठीक है. Is it understood or not? Now look at this. I am writing my main. I wrote two variable a, b, both the values are 10 and 15. एक स्टेटमेंट में समझाऊंगा, बोलोगे understood or not? This statement is understood. Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Yes, sir. Now I am calling the functions. When I call the function, control gets transferred. Now actual parameter is 20. Does it match with the data type of the formal parameter? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And I already told you, clearly told you, this is nothing but an assignment statement. So formal parameter n assigns to how much? Very nice,
20.
very nice. And then if I continue my execution, how many equal will be displayed on
20
the
equals,
screen?
sir.
20.
Is it understood by everyone? Tell me yes, or no.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Huh? Yes.
Yes.
Then again, we called it from here. Did I pass a constant or I am passing a variable? A is a constant or variable? Variable.
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 Now n will be assigned to
A.
what is the value of a?
10.
So how many equal will be displayed on the screen?
10.
10.
Is it understood to everyone? Tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ananya, क्या भूरा सूर्य सुप्रति
Yes,
क्या
sir.
नाम केतन
Yes. Yes, sir.
प्रत्युष क्या नाम देवजीत गोस्वामी. Have you understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Go
Yes.
on. Yes. Good. Good. Have you understood this statement? Second, very nice. Let me come to the third one. Is it a constant variable or an expression?
Expression.
Expression. The
Expression.
expression gets evaluated fast. The expression gets evaluated fast. If I evaluate a plus b plus 2, possibly comes out to be 17. Yes or no? So now
Yes.
value of
Yes.
n will become.
17.
17.
If I continue to execute it, how many equal will
17
be
equals,
displayed on the screen?
17
17
equals
equal to
2.
7.
Very good, very good. सबको समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
आगे
sir.
बढ़े? Should I proceed?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. ठीक है, ये लेफ्ट से डिस्प्ले होगा, थोड़ा गलती हो गया ये डिस्प्ले वाला, बीच में कर देता हूं, ठीक है, अच्छा लगने के लिए कर दिया, फ्रॉम द लेफ्ट. ओके, गुड. अंडरस्टूड इट? यस और नो? काउंट मत किया करो, डोंट काउंट इट. 17 ना, डोंट काउंट. मैंने हम स्टार्टेड काउंटिंग, साहब तो बोल दिया 17, देखो 15 आ रहा है, कोई बोल रहा नहीं सर 19 है. अंडरस्टूड और नॉट? आया समझ में? अच्छा, और एक चीज मैं पूछता हूं, would you like to display equal on the screen always? Why equal? Why don't we display a plus symbol on the screen? Sorry, oh दिखा दिया पूरा. Why don't I display a plus symbol on the screen? Why not a character A? Why not a character star? Suppose I want to display a character star on the screen, same 10 times or 20 times or 30 times like this. Do I need to write another display function? No, no. Same function I'll do. Understood or not? Objective is understood, yes or no?
Yes,
I don't
yes.
want to write a new function for this. Let me see whether I can display any character on the screen or not. Look at this. Look at this. How many parameters I now declare?
Sir, two from
Both are of same type or one is integer, one is character?
sir different type.
Very good, very good. If I run this function, what it will display? A
Sir,
character?
the character.
A character which is assigned to which variable?
Sir, cat
CH.
CH.
A character which is assigned to which variable? CH. But how many times?
N type.
N times.
N
If
times.
N is 10, N is 10, CH is star. What it will display?
Sir, 10 stars.
Star
Very
in
good.
10 stars.
Understood or not?
Yes,
I
sir.
am not
Yes,
writing a new
sir.
function for this. Do you now understand the necessity of passing parameters? Otherwise, बहुत function लिखना पड़ता है. हर के लिए एक function लिखना पड़ता है. No, no. With this idea, let me say. Now I'm coming to the main. What I've written display for 20 character variable. Character well write down inside code dollar or not.
Yes, sir.
मैंने डॉलर दिया इसीलिए रुपीज भी दे सकता था, है कि नहीं? डॉलर तो तुम लोग बाहर जाओगे डॉलर अर्न करोगे सो डॉलर दे दिया. नाउ लुक एट दिस. So when this statement is called, look at this. When we execute this statement, n will be assigned to,
20
oh, very good. CH is assigned to,
dollar.
Dollar.
oh, very good. Now tell me what it will display.
Sir,
10 or 20,
$20.
10 or 20. Doesn't matter.
$20.
Counting गलत कर दिया, कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं. Okay. ये समझ में आया? Or yes or no?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
So when I come to the next display 4, when I come to the next display 4, it will display a, what is the value of a?
10, sir.
10,
So it will
10.
print, it will display 10 number of character. But which character? Plus.
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 plus character.
Plus.
फिर आगे बढ़ते हैं. A plus B into 2. कितने number? How many number? 20.
Sir,
But
20.
which character?
Sir,
Y.
Y.
Is it understood? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Understood it? Same function. One more statement you write down. Character and integer. Character and integer can be declared and used interchangeably. Character and integer can be declared and used interchangeably. Let me explain the meaning of this. Let me explain the meaning of this. Okay? Now, to answer this question, can anyone say what exactly is being stored inside this? Is it Y or ASCII value of Y? Very nice. Write down ASCII value of Y. Something. We don't know. ASCII value of Y. In place of this, C, I am writing D. Look at this. What I wrote? D. Now tell me, will it display Y or the ASCII value of Y?
ASCII value of Y.
Very good. Suppose
ASCII
ASCII
value of
value of I is 101. Suppose. Don't keep it in record. 101. Suppose 101. So what it will display? 101.
10.
Understood it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
अरे बहुत बोलती बंद हो गया ऑनलाइन वाले, क्या हो गया? अरे बुरा सूर्य सुप्रतीक अनन्या
Yes, sir. Yes,
माथुर,
sir. Understood.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ,
Understood.
बोलते हो।
Understood.
ये समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? अभी हाँ बोलने से आगे बढ़ूं?
हाँ,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
हाँ सर.
हाँ, बहुत सारा चीज बोलना पड़ेगा ना. और
Sir,
एक
Y
चीज
की value 101.
मैंने बोला सपोज,
Okay, sir. Okay.
ठीक है? अच्छा, अभी फिर देखो, फिर क्या करता हूँ? Suppose I declared it as in. I declared it as int. Character and integer, the relation is such, they can be declared interchangeably. Doesn't matter whether I declare the variable as int, use it as a char. For example, let me explain the right. Suppose I wrote a variable like this. Look at this. Int A. I am writing here 5. We have a memory location. A, what will be stored here? Very nice, very nice. Look at this. My variable is integer or character? Integer. My variable is integer, but I am assigning a character or integer?
Correct.
Character.
Yes. When I am giving a character, will the character be stored or ASCII value will be stored?
SQL.
Oh, suppose ASCII value of 5 is 53. Suppose. Then what would be stored there?
53.
If I ask you people to read it as an integer, I will ask you to read it as a decimal or integer. Will you read 5 or 53?
53.
Integer पढ़ो 53. Yes.
53.
53 integer. आएगी नहीं समझ में? हैं? आएगी नहीं?
Yes, sir.
Yes. I will ask you to read it as a character, not integer. What you will read?
So 5.
5.
Online वाला बोल दिया 5. Understood है कि नहीं? अरे yes sir no. Again I am saying again yes. You don't understand. पूछो मैं. Forget about all this. Let me say we have a memory. Some value is stored here. 140. I will ask you to read it. अच्छा वो छोटा सा नंबर देते हैं. अच्छा पढ़ो तो ये क्या लिखा मैंने?
11.
Logical order.
कितने लोगों को ये 11 लगता है? Raise your hand. अरे 11. अच्छा ठीक है. वो भी मेरे को भी लगता है. It is 11 in decimal. It is 11 in. Did I tell I am speaking decimal language? I am a computer professor. I am speaking in binary language. अरे अंग्रेजी बोलते हैं इसका मतलब थोड़ी ना कि डेसिमल बोलते हैं. I am a computer faculty. I should speak in binary or decimal. Now if it is in binary, if it is in binary, is it 11 or 3?
So 3.
3. Yes or no? समझ में आया कि नहीं आया? अरे बोलती बंद हो गया. 1 in binary मैंने वो भी नहीं पता है.
2 to the power 0 plus 2 to the
हाँ
power
वो
2 to the power
तो
0
फॉर्मूला
plus
बता
2
दिया
to the
ऑनलाइन
power
वाले. फॉर्मूला बता देते हैं. फॉर्मूला बोल के मेरे को फिर 2 to the 0 मेरे को पता नहीं है. But 1 is 3 or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If I write down 110, is it 3 or 9? किसी
9.
को नहीं दिखता. चश्मा
Sir,
जिन लोग पहना
octal,
आज कम से कम.
octal.
हाँ ऑक्टल में 1 क्या होता है? 3 होता है कि 9 होता है?
9.
9. समझ में आ रहा है? तो कैसे मैं पढ़ रहा हूं? सेम 1. If I read it in decimal 11, read it in binary 3, read it in octal 9, read it in hexadecimal 17. Understood or not?
Yes.
Now, if you have understood this, if I ask you to read it as an integer, you will tell it is 140. Agree to all? Yes or no?
Yes.
Suppose I will ask you to read it as a character. It will read a character whose ASCII value is 140. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Will read it as a character. Suppose I say plus character, ASCII value is 140. ASCII value of plus character is 140. So if I ask you to read it as a character, you will read 140 or plus. Understood or not? That's the basic idea. So what you are asking basically to read, returning back again, let me say, suppose I declare this as int. Okay. Now I'm coming to this. कहाँ पे आता है? अच्छा यही y पे आता है. Will you store here y, ASCII value of y? Let me say ASCII value of y is 121. मैंने बोल दिया. ठीक है. When I display, do I display it as a character or integer? No, look at the C. Percentage C, character. When it is character, will I read 121 or y?
Voice.
Y. Very nice. If I write, do I ask you to read it as a character or integer? Then will you read y or 121?
121.
121.
Doesn't matter whether I declared it int or char. How do I store? How do I read? When somebody is asking me to read, मेरे को बोल रहा है very गौर से देखो ये character दिखने से 121 नहीं है. Character दिखने से y है. If I look at it as an integer, it's 121. Understood or not? If I write
Yes.
this, Can it be a character? No, it's a character. समझ में आया कि नहीं है? ये 5 लिख दे, ये कैरेक्टर है क्या? ये कब कैरेक्टर बनेगा?
Single
Yes, single integer. With this understanding, so character and integer can be declared and used interchangeably. In this integer I can declare is a character, doesn't matter. मैं कर सकता हूँ नहीं कर सकता हूँ बोलो? I
Yes,
can
sir.
write down this. But when I assign a character value or 20 as an integer.
Integer 20.
मैंने 20 क्या दिया? Integer दिया. So क्या स्टोर होगा? 20 स्टोर होगा. Doesn't matter. Yes or no? So character and integer can be declared interchangeably. Doesn't happen with float. वो fancy float का साथ नहीं है.
सर
Only yes, हाँ, yes, हाँ.
सर बिना सिंगल कोट के 20 स्टोर हो जाएगा इनमें?
कैसे होगा? वो तो कैरेक्टर नहीं होगा ना. सिंगल
नहीं.
कोट कैसे 20 में दे सकते हैं?
हाँ
डबल हो
सर
गया.
तो वो स्टोर हो जाएगा, एरर नहीं आएगा?
नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा.
ओके सर.
With this understanding, look at this. ये वही मैं जो बोल रहा था. ये आ गया माथा वाला brainstorming. Yes or no? Now brainstorm करना है. I declared int and char ch. I gave 25. But when I'm displaying this, did I give 5 as a character or integer? Tell me.
Sir, integer.
Oh, very nice. If I'm giving it as an integer, very good question. Storage will be ASCII value of 5 or 5.
5.
So when I display, do I display it in a character mode or integer mode?
Integer.
No, look at this percentage.
Character mode. Sir.
Character.
If I'm displaying it in a character mode, tell me it will display 5 or a character whose ASCII value is 5.
Sir, character.
Character.
Very nice, very nice. Suppose I change it to D. Suppose I change it to D. It will display character whose ASCII value is 5 or 5.
5.
आ गया सब कुछ समझ में? क्लियर हो गया चीज? जब देख रहे हो कैसे देख रहे हो भाई, इसको इंटीजर देख रहे हो, कैरेक्टर देख रहे हो, है कि नहीं? मैं बोलता हूं ये पढ़ो, रीड इट एज ए कैरेक्टर. क्या पढ़ोगे? कैरेक्टर whose ASCII value
ASCII
is
value is
5. Read it as a integer. What will read?
5.
यही चीज है. समझ में आया अभी? हाँ, सब कुछ समझ में आ गया. ठीक है. अच्छा, इसमें क्या होगा अभी पता चल गया. कौन सा कैरेक्टर मेरे को ही पता नहीं. आई डोंट नो आल्सो द कैरेक्टर हु ASCII value is 5. आई जस्ट रोट इट रैंडमली. ओके, नेक्स्ट. आगे भी सॉरी. लुक एट दिस A48. कैसे किया देख रहे हो कि नहीं? ए को मैंने क्या कर दिया? फर्स्ट आई गेव एज ए कैरेक्टर और इंटीजर. मैं देख क्या रहा हूं?
Character. Sir.
Character.
सो बट असाइन किसको हो रहा है?
Integer.
इंटीजर को. सो
ASCII
क्या
value
होगा?
of-
ए जाएगा कि ASCII value पे?
ASCII value of
ASCII value 65 और 95. वहां कोई बोल चुका है ऑनलाइन में. अरे ऑनलाइन वाले तुम लोग गूगल देख के बोल देते हो ASCII value पे. भाई ये ठीक नहीं है. हाँ, देख गूगल पास में है, दोस्त है, और ASCII value पे बोल देते हैं. यहाँ तो देख नहीं पा रहे, तुरंत बोल देते हैं 65. डजंट मैटर, कोई बात नहीं. So 65 is assigned to this. Understood it or not? So how many characters will be displayed?
65.
अरे how many?
65.
65.
65 हो गया. अगर मैंने B देता तो
66.
66.
ठीक है. हाँ, यही होना चाहिए, वरना they will score more. हम लोग को पता होना चाहिए ऐसे. ठीक है, 66. अच्छा, B का 66 का तो C का ऊपर
67.
तक चलेगा. 67, 68 लाइक दिस. ठीक है. ये ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग समझ में आया क्या क्या होगा इस सब में? हाँ, यहाँ मैंने 48 दे दिया. 48 डिड आई गिव एज इंटीजर और कैरेक्टर में दिया क्या?
Sir, integer.
इंटीजर. स्टोर होगा क्या? 48 स्टोर होगा.
हाँ.
48 स्टोर होगा. लुक एट दिस, 48 विल बी स्टोर. पर जब डिस्प्ले कर रहा हूँ 48 डिस्प्ले कर रहा हूँ, कैरेक्टर डिस्प्ले कर रहा हूँ.
Character.
Character.
इट विल डिस्प्ले कैरेक्टर हुज ASCII वैल्यू इज
48.
48.
हो गया. मैंने प्रिंट दिया था परसेंटेज सी में, अभी परसेंटेज डी में करके कर रहा हूं. अंडरस्टूड इट? सो ऑल दिस यू शुड ट्राई टू सी व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. ओके, नेक्स्ट इज सिंपल वन. Write a function to convert a lowercase to the corresponding uppercase characters. Okay, lowercase character I have shown in my table. Corresponding uppercase ASCII value I am showing. Do you find a relation between lowercase and uppercase? कुछ रिलेशन मिल रहा है ASCII वैल्यू में?
Yes.
You look at the relation.
32.
Plus
Upper
32.
uppercase character is nothing but the lowercase minus 32 or
Plus
not?
32. Yes, sir.
ASCII value of uppercase is nothing but the ASCII value of the lowercase minus 32. So can you write a function for this? I wrote a function, very simple. Now we will return the ASCII value of the character. We'll return the ASCII value of the capital characters. Okay. Our some input small character will be giving small letter and its capital value will be returned. Okay. If it is already capital, that capital will be
Return.
returned. नहीं उसका कुछ कैपिटल है क्या? ऐसा तो नहीं है भुवनेश्वर कैपिटल है, दिल्ली भी कैपिटल है, ऐसे थोड़ी ना है. कैपिटल तो एक ही है इंग्लिश अंग्रेजी में, स्टेट का कैपिटल है, कंट्री का कैपिटल है, लगे. So now we'll enter a character here and then we'll check whether it is within the range of 65 to 90 or not. If it is within this range, return the same CH because it's already a capital capital, and otherwise we'll write down CH minus 32. Understood? We'll return this value. Now I'll tell you one more thing here. How do I call this function? Can I call this function without returning to a variable? This function returns a value or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
अरे समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं ये function?
Yes, sir. Yes.
हाँ, sir.
If it returns a value, somebody should be there to catch hold of the value or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
here the variable a will catch this value or not.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Can you convert these three things to a formal parameter here?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
CH or CH? If that is such, how do we call the function? Font, you will be giving a character maybe B. Are yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you convert every scanf statement or local variable to a formal parameter or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is all about today's class. Again, because of less attendance, you'll go for 3-mark evaluation today also. Okay. 3-mark evaluation, those who are present are coming.